What's up, everybody? I'm trying to live stream here. I hope it works. My internet connection is not the best, but I'm trying to do what I can right now with it. So we're going to check it out and see how it goes tonight. I got to start a little bit late, obviously, because UTRGV and Tarleton State have already tipped off. So let's just talk about that series right now, get them out of the way first. Tonight, Lou Hill Tribute Night at Bird Ogden Arena. It's one of those things where UTRGV is going through all kinds of things. It had pause and they had Lou Hill pass away. It just we'll see what happens going forward. The Vaqueros can finish no higher than fifth in the seedings for WAC Vegas. So there's that. I'm looking at my notes here. Javon Levi is UTRGV's all-time steals leader. He'll have a tall task this weekend against Montre Gibson. Should be fun because both Tarleton and UTRGV feed off of steals, and both like to get out in transition, and both play a lot of guards. So that should be a fun series. With that said, they've tipped off. I haven't turned on the score yet. I don't have everything streaming. I've been trying to put this live stream together. I'm hoping it's working. So if somebody out there who's watching can check it out and let me know if it's working or not, that would be great. Comment, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're following, and let me know how it's going. We're going to go right into the big matchup this weekend for the WAC regular season championship in Phoenix, Utah Valley at Grand Canyon. Huge series, a sweep for either team. They're the outright champion, split, co-champions, and then the 1-2 seed comes down to what happens with California Baptist in their series against Seattle and New Mexico State series at Dixie State. But here's what Bryce Drew had to say about the weekend.
Utah Valley, really good team, really well coached, and a lot of similarities between the two teams with the two bigs in the lineups. How we defend is very similar, and so we're really looking forward to playing this weekend. Our whole approach has been one game at a time. So Richard, we're really right now. Our whole focus is just Friday. We want to play good on Friday and be as prepared as we can. And as we've seen in these weekend games, the back-to-backs, games vary night to night. So, we're just planning on Friday, and then after Friday, then we'll obviously start looking towards Saturday, but one game at a time. It's going to be a great matchup. Two really good bigs. They are similar in some ways and different, in other ways. So I'm sure they're both looking forward to playing against someone, that's the same size as them. They don't get to do that very often, against any college games, not conference or conference, very often. So I'm sure they're both excited, and we're excited for them to play against each other also, because they're two really, really good players. That obviously the two bigs, both positions, the 5 and the 4, those, really every matchup when you get to the end of the year, everything is just magnified. But I think Woodbury and Overton are really good, and they score the ball, and they both do things really well on the offensive side of the ball. So those guys are going to be challenges. They're both bigger guards, so that'll be a challenge for some of our smaller guards, defensively against them. So, yeah, the wings are going to be obviously just as big as what the big matchups will look like.
That was Bryce Drew, excuse me, with his thoughts on the weekend. Let's get into Mark Madsen's thoughts here. Give me just a second to get that up here. But obviously, Bryce Drew has some concerns with bigger guards for Utah Valley and Jamison Overton, Trey Woodbury. That should be fun for Mikey Dixon and Oscar Freyer. So we'll see what happens. I'm just trying to get this pulled up, and I will play what Mark Madsen had to say. I hope. I don't know if I got the right one. Anyways, we're going to try it, and we'll see what Mark Madsen had to say. Sorry, like I said, first time.
Well, I mean, I think it's very business-like, matter of fact. I think one of the great things about this team is taking every single game as a one-game series. Right now we have one game to worry about, which is Friday night. When that game is finished, then we have another game Saturday night. And so I think professionalism and focus is what I've seen from our guys already so far this week, and the work that we've done, and excitement to play, to play for something important, and to play a really good team. Well, it's two really, really great players. You look at Mick Guard; he's one of the top in the country. I think he is the top in terms of field goal percentage. You look at Fardas; he is the top in terms of rebounding. The toughness for both of them. I mean, I can obviously I know Doss personally. I mean, Doss's level of toughness is you can't even calculate it. I mean, Doss is a tough guy, and he plays hard, and he's gotten himself in phenomenal shape. And so, and again, I'm not with Mick Guard every day, but what I see on tape of him is extremely impressive. Physicality, finishing, just his ability and vision around the rim. And so, this is what you want as a player. You want to play against the best players. This is what you want as a team. You want to play against top teams, and Grand Canyon is a top team. Yeah, I mean, with the way the WAC is this year, I think every coaching staff has probably watched 5 to 10 games of their opponent already. And that's before the pre-prep work. And so, yeah, we all know each other really well. And I think Bryce Drew and the administration at Grand Canyon, they've just done an outstanding job of putting together a balanced roster, a roster where they can, they have some talent that's homegrown. Blackshear is a guy that came in last year as a freshman and really had a great freshman year. You look at a guy like Liam Lloyd, who's a dead-eye shooter. And he played close to 30 minutes at Seattle. He's a guy that's, a freshman this year. His career is going to take off, and so they've got kind of the homegrown pieces. And then they went out and they got a Mick Guard, a big time transfer who's just blossomed. They've got some other transfers on the roster. And so I think in terms of roster construction, I think Bryce Drew, he knew exactly what he wanted. He wanted the right mix for him. And it's proven to be very effective for his team.
So that was Mark Madsen talking about Bryce Drew, Grand Canyon. Big series this weekend, like I said. And here's the thing. It's probably for WAC Player of the Year honors. I've talked to a few people who think it is because you've got two big men in the WAC who are going to set some history record or put their names in the history books. Asbjorn Midtgaard, GCU's big 7-footer, averaging 14.4 points and just over 10 rebounds while shooting nearly 75% from the field this year. That's going to set records for the big man who transferred over to GCU from Wichita State. Fardas Amac is averaging 14.8 points and a nation-leading 15.4 rebounds per game. Think about that. Those are huge. So, WAC championship, WAC Player of the Year. I mean, it has all the drama that you want at the end of the regular season, and it should be a fun one at GCU Arena. Tip is at 7. You can watch it on ESPN3 or GCU TV. Arizonans can watch it on another channel. I'm not quite sure which one. I don't have that channel, so I'm just going with what I've got that I can stream. The Wolverines looking for their second WAC title since 2013-14. GCU looking for its first ever WAC title. Like I said, drama in the desert. GCU Arena, going to be loud. Great atmosphere for a championship series. And should be a fun one for the Wolverines and the Lopes. Next up, we got Notre Dame. Excuse me, not Notre Dame. New Mexico State at Dixie State. The Aggies look like they're the regular Aggies of old. I mean, you watched them on Tuesday against UTRGV. They shot the ball well. They defended well. They had a kind of a letdown on Saturday at Tarleton State before shooting, where they shot a poor percentage. Friday night, they shot 60% to beat the Texans. I mean, this game should be this. I was muted, everybody. Thanks, Matt Kennedy, for pointing it out. Wow, first time live streaming ever. Holy cow. So let's go back to talking about, let's go back to the default scene where I'm at. Gosh, that screwed it all up. I'm sorry, fans that are following out there. Talking about GCU Utah Valley after what Mark Madsen said. So not just is the WAC champion regular season championship on the line, perhaps WAC player of the year is on the line. Asbjorn Midtgaard, Faraz Amak, two big men who didn't play in the WAC last year. Midtgaard is about to set the national record for field goal percentage in a season. Amak is on the brink of setting the national record for rebounds per game this season. Both of them averaged a double-double. Both of them had 16 points and 16 rebounds last on Saturday in their wins. I mean, these two big men are dominant, and it'll be a fun matchup to watch in GC Arena. Again, WAC regular season championship on the line. If GCU or Utah Valley sweep, they're the outright champion. Split, co-champions. Tip-off, 7 p.m. You can watch it on ESPN3 or GCU TV. Arizonans have a different channel. I don't know which one it is. I don't have it, so I'm just going to watch it on the stream. So should be a fun one. Wolverines looking for their second WAC regular season title. They won it in 2013-14. GCU looking for its first ever WAC title. Now, back to where I was. I'm going to show you the clip again. New Mexico State at Dixie State. This should be a fun one, okay? Let's just call it that. This should be a fun one. Went on mute when it came on, so I'm going to talk through it. Anyways, Mexico State, healthy, strong, coming off a big win over UTRGV on Tuesday in El Paso at the Don Haskins Center. Jabari Rice looked his old self. Clayton Henry had all of his points late in the second half. Johnny McCants is playing better. Evan Gilliard was on the floor, which is huge for the Aggies. He needs to be on the floor for them to have success. CJ Roberts has come on, lately and played really well. I just think the Aggies are primed for that run towards a WAC championship. Simple as that. We'll see what happens at Dixie State. I mean, Dixie State and New Mexico State are kind of similar, where they struggle one night but play awesome the next night, or vice versa. Dixie State had the week off, so they're fresh. It's senior night for Hunter Schofield, Jared Green, Dayson Youngblood, as well as, oh my goodness, let me look at my notes here. He doesn't play a ton. but Jamar Ergas. So we'll see what happens. Two teams that really struggle to have consistency on both nights. But the Aggies are really, I think they're ready to make that run, to be that team that we thought they were going to be. And nobody wants to see the Aggies be the 3 seed or the 4 seed. I mean, if they're the 4 seed, they could potentially play Grand Canyon. I don't know. It's going to be all over the place. So we'll see what happens. Coming back now to you. Keep an eye on this series. It's on the WAC Digital Network, but New Mexico State looking to win 2 straight to get rolling into WAC Vegas next weekend. And so we'll see what happens. Then, a series that I don't think people really realize is going to have a major impact, not a major impact, but a significant impact on the WAC standings. Seattle at CBU, it could have an impact on the seeding. So if CBU gets swept, they could drop all the way to the 5 seed, and Seattle could jump up to the 3 or 4 seed. I mean, it's wild how this is all working out. This is going to be a fun series because these two teams like to huck it up from three-point land. I mean, Riley Grigsby, Darian Trammell, Aaron Nettles, if he's playing. He didn't play last weekend due to a hand injury. But, I mean, everybody on Seattle's team can shoot the 3 ball. Kobe Williamson, the freshman, at 6'9", can shoot the ball from the outside better. Okay, this is exaggeration, but he probably could shoot it better from the outside than he does in the paint. And then you got CBU with Tyrell, with Reed Nottage, with Trey Armstrong, with Mark Carbone. All of them can shoot from deep. And they do it so quick that 1 minute it might be a 10-7 game. The next minute, it's a 27-17 game. I mean, it's just amazing how quickly these two teams can score. I'm going to play a little bit clip while I continue to talk here. I'm trying to make this interesting for y'all to really see. This is a lot of fun to do this. Matt Canaday says, if New Mexico State sweeps Dixie, the Aggies are going to win WAC Vegas. Doesn't want to say it's a bold take, but it's a pretty bold take. But it could happen. Let's just put it that way. I will agree with you on that one, that there's a very real possibility. And I think CBU goes further in the WAC tourney than Seattle does, to be honest with you, Matt. I just think that the Lancers are a little bit more well-rounded with Gorjak Gak in the middle. Elijah Thomas has played well recently. Malik Wade, the freshman, has come on to do big things. Plus, they just shoot so well and execute at such a high level. They just have so many weapons, more than Seattle does. That's the biggest thing. So we'll see. I mean, maybe I'll be wrong. Like we said, all year long it's been series splits. So it's just going to be a fun weekend of hoops. All the time. We're going to be live from WAC Vegas, on Wednesday. It's great. So have a good evening. Enjoy a fun night of hoops. And, we'll see what happens.